For our first bandage, we'll be doing a polo. You'll want to make sure the polo can fit your horse's leg in length and isn't too long or too short. When starting out, you'll want to start in the middle of the cannon bone, angling slightly downward, going from inside to out on the horse's leg. As you make your way down to the fetlock, you'll want to go down and around the ergot and then angle slightly upwards when you come around the front of the leg. Make sure your laps are even and not too loose but not too tight, making sure that each and every lap there aren't wrinkles or any loose areas. As you get up to the top, you'll want to make sure you stop just below the knee, and you'll also want to make sure that your Velcro will be able to stick to each other. Make sure your polo isn't too tight or too loose, and ensure that you have a V in the front of the polo on the fetlock. For the next bandage, we'll be doing a stable or standing bandage. You'll need one quilt or pillow and a track bandage that isn't too loose, too tight in fabric. First, you'll start by wrapping the pillow around the leg, tucking in tightly as you go. You want to make sure that your pillow isn't too loose, or else the bandage in the end will not be tight enough around the horse's leg and it can cause damage or fall off. You'll want to make sure that the pillow is even going all the way around at the top and their bottom layers aren't below and are just even with the layer over top of it. When starting the track bandage, you want to make sure that you hold the pillow tight so it doesn't start to loosen, and also make sure that the track bandage is the right length for your horse's leg. As you go around, you want to pull to 50% of stretch of the track bandage and make sure it is tight enough to hold the pillow in place. Work downwards towards the leg, stopping at just below about an inch to half an inch of pillow left at the bottom, and then start working your way back up, making even laps with even pressure. When you get to the top of the bandage, you want to make sure that there's still enough pillow sticking out of the top. If you're not sure about the Velcro or you have no Velcro available, you can always use bandage pins or masking tape. Make sure that it is not too loose, too tight, and you cannot twist it around. For our next bandage, we'll be doing a stack bandage. You'll need 2 quilted pillows, one longer and one shorter for the cannon bone and upper part of the leg, and 2 track bandages as well. When starting out, you begin just like a normal standing bandage with the bandage a little lower on the leg. This is called the anchor phase. This will be able to keep the top half of the stack bandage supported without slipping and falling down the leg and causing problems with your bandage. Again, you'll want to make sure it is tight enough around your horse's leg to ensure that the pillow stays in place and does not cause any damage to the horse's leg. You always want to make sure that these bandages are perfect or very, very close to, because you do not want to cause any more harm than has probably already been done. You'll also want to make sure that the track bandage and the pillow are both going the same direction from inside to out. Again, recheck your wrap to make sure it is to quality. When beginning the top portion of the stack wrap, you want to make sure that you also tuck in the pillow or quilt tightly to make sure that it stays on the leg and will not slip down over the anchor phase of your stack wrap in the process of wrapping. For the top phase, you'll want to make sure you have a longer bandage, as the top portion of the leg is typically longer than the cannon. And you'll also go down over the end of the bandage and slightly onto the anchor phase of the bandage to ensure that it stays on. You'll want to make sure there's no excessive lumping or bumps around the knee joint. And when ending the bandage, you'll want to make sure that there is still about an inch of bandage left on top. And then check your bandage for evenness to make sure that the bandage is quality. To ensure that the bandage stays on, you can always use masking tape. There are different methods, and the method that I will be showing you is a spiral method, where you will spiral down the leg about 3 laps and then snip the masking tape. This will make sure, in case the Velcro comes loose, that the bandage will still stay on. You'll want to make sure it is smooth and will not come off. The next part that you will do for a stack bandage to ensure that no dirt, dust, or anything else gets inside the bandage in the quilts, you can use Elasticon at the top and the bottom of the bandage. Elasticon is a stretchy and very sticky style of bandaging. You want to make sure you don't get it too tight, but just tight enough to stay on the horse's leg and the bandage. The next bandage that I will be showing you is a hoof bandage. You will need vet wrap, a diaper, and duct tape. If it is an abscess, you will use drawing salve. First, you'll pick up the foot, then place the diaper around the hoof, ensuring that you have all of the hoof covered. It is easier sometimes to use a diaper because they have the Velcro strips that can hold the diaper in place while you get the vet wrap and duct tape ready. With the vet wrap, you'll want to make sure that you only cover the hoof portion and don't go any higher, or else you can cut off blood supply from the cornet band to the hoof. Once you have finished covering the surface of the hoof, you can snip the vet wrap with scissors. Once you have finished snipping the vet wrap, you can grab your duct tape. The best way to do this is to already have a pre-made patch of duct tape that will cover just the hoof. You do not want any duct tape to come up over the diaper, as it can cause irritation to the skin if applied. Once you have finished with that, now all you need to do is to apply duct tape around the toe of the hoof to ensure that the duct tape does not get walked through. You'll want to apply 3 to 4 strips around the toe and the edges of the hoof. It is also useful to already have these strips cut to make things go faster and easier. Once you have finished applying the duct tape, the last step is to cut a slit in the front of the bandage to make sure that it isn't too tight across the front. You'll want to be careful that you don't poke the horse's leg in the process if your bandage did go high enough. For the next bandage, you'll need a quilt pillow, track bandage, brown gauze, non-stick 4x4 square bandage, scissors, and the correct ointment. When starting out, you'll need to take your 4x4 pad and the ointment, place it on the wound, and then wrap brown gauze around. You'll want to do a few laps to make sure that the non-stick bandage and the brown gauze will stay on the leg. Once you have wrapped it around, you can cut the brown gauze and then tuck it in to ensure that it stays on while you grab your pillow. Once you have grabbed your pillow, you'll want to make sure that the pillow is the right length, fitting just below the knee. You'll apply it the same as a standing bandage or stable bandage, keeping the pillow tucked in and tight around the leg to ensure that the ending result will not slip, turn, or come off the leg. Again, as you wrap the track bandage, you'll want to make sure that you leave an inch of pillow at the top and the bottom of your bandage. When you're done, you'll want to make sure that the bandage is not too loose or too tight.